Hello everyone. Now in this lecture we will see some high pressure boiler. All these boilers are also the water tube boiler. Let's see. In the last lecture we have seen some water tube boiler, that was Babcock and Wilcox boiler. Then we have seen Stirling boiler. Now in this lecture we will see some high pressure boiler. All these boilers are also the water tube boiler. Let's see. The Babcock and Wilcox boiler and Stirling boiler I have covered in last lecture. Now in this video I'll cover Lamont boiler, Loeffler boiler and Velox boiler. And in the next lecture I'll cover supercritical boiler. In that we will study about the Benson boiler. Let's start the topic with the high pressure boiler. First, Lamont boiler. The Lamont boiler is a high pressure forced circulation water tube boiler in which water is circulated through an external pump through long closely spaced tube of small diameter. The pump is employed in order to have adequate and positive circulation in steam and hot water. We are using this pump because of that the Lamont boiler is a forced circulation system. I have already told that when the water is coming from the boiler drum through the downcomer and that water is going into the evaporator, if the pump is used in between these lines or between this path, then this will be a forced circulation. If pump is not used, then it will be a natural circulation. So Lamont boiler is a forced circulation because we are using pump. You see, this is the downcomer and through this downcomer water is coming and it is going into the radiant evaporator. So this is a forced circulation boiler. Okay. So this is a forced circulation boiler. Now, the Lamont boiler works on the principle of forced circulation of water within the boiler with the help of centrifugal pump. That means this pump is a centrifugal pump. Its working totally depends upon this pump. The centrifugal pump circulates the mixture of steam and water through the small diameter tube of a boiler. The feed pump forces the water into the economizer where temperature of water increase. You see here, this is the feed pump and this feed pump is taking heat from the hot well, and now this feed pump is feeding the feed water to the economizer. And in economizer, this feed water will preheat. Okay, now this water flows into the evaporator tube by using a centrifugal pump driven by steam turbine, and water passes 10 to 15 times into these evaporator tubes. The mixture of saturated steam and water is formed inside the tube. Now the water has come into the economizer and through economizer it is going into the steam drum, and in steam drum then from the downcomer water is taking and this water is pumped into the radiant evaporator with the help of circulating pump, and this circulating pump is a centrifugal pump and it is driven by the steam. Now in radiant evaporator, water and steam mixture will go into the convective evaporator, and through the convective evaporator this water and steam mixture will go into the drum. In drum, steam separates from the water and steam will go into the superheater, and after superheating of steam, the steam will be sent to the turbine for further expansion, and here water will again taken through the downcomer and it is again going into the evaporator. This cycle again repeat. Okay, this is the steam and water cycle. Now you see here the air from the air preheater enters into the furnace where fuel burned. This is the air, cold air, and through the blower we are sending this air into the hot combustion chamber. This air is preheated by the flue gas, from where the flue gas is coming from this location, and the flue gas is going like this, and this is exhaust gas and it is sent to the chimney. We are preheating the air with the exhaust gases, and this preheated air is used for the combustion of a fuel here. Okay, so this is the working of a Lamont boiler. the working pressure of this boiler is about 170 bar and have the steam generation capacity of about 50 TPH at a temperature 500 degrees Celsius. So Lamont boiler is a very high pressure boiler and steam generation is very high, that is 50 TPH. So friends, this is all about the Lamont boiler. Now let's see the application advantages and disadvantages of Lamont boiler. Lamont boiler application, it is used in the power plant for the generation of power. Advantages of Lamont boiler are it can generate a high amount of steam. It is easy to start its operation. The construction design of Lamont boiler is very simple and easy to understand. This boiler can reassemble with the natural circulation boiler and it has a high heat transfer rate. It is flexible in design. The disadvantage is that there is a bubble formation in this type of boiler. This is the disadvantage. If bubble formation will be there, then it will resist the heat transfer. So this is the disadvantage for the Lamont boiler. Now let's see the next boiler, Loeffler boiler. Loeffler boiler is a water tube boiler used for generating steam by burning of fuel, which is coal, and further that is used for generation of steam. It is another extension of Lamont boiler, but the difference between the Lamont and Loeffler boiler is that the Loeffler boiler can generate steam with the use of salt water. The Lamont boiler cannot use salt water, but Loeffler boiler can use the salt water for steam generation. Loeffler boiler generates steam at 140 bar and quantity that is 100 TPH. Loeffler boiler can generate steam 100 TPH and at a pressure of 140 bar. The water is first to supply into the feed pump. From the feed pump it goes to economizer. You see here the water is going from the feed pump and it is going to the economizer. And after the economizer, this water is going into the mixing chamber or what we call that, this is a mixing chamber. In this mixing chamber, what will happen? The feed water is coming like this and the superheated steam will come like this. The feed water and superheated steam will mix and there is a formation of saturated steam. Then this saturated steam will go into the radiant superheater. This saturated steam will go into the radiant superheater. And this is the combustion chamber. The radiant superheater is present in the combustion chamber. After the combustion of a fuel, this saturated steam will convert into the superheated steam and then it will go into the convective superheater. After the radiant and convective superheater, the steam which is coming from the convective superheater, that is superheated steam. Now the 1/3 amount of the superheated steam will be sent to the turbine and 2/3 will be sent to the mixing chamber. The 1/3 steam will be sent to the high pressure turbine for the generation of power. After the expansion of this steam, the steam will be sent again into the boiler and it will sent into the reheater. And after reheating of this steam, it will be sent to the low pressure turbine for the generation of power. So this is the steam and water cycle. Now let's see what is the cycle. Now let's see what is the flue gas path. This is the combustion chamber. The flue gas will generate here and the flue gas will passes through radiant superheater, then convective superheater, then it will pass through the reheater, then it will go through the economizer and it will go to the chimney. This is the path for the exhaust flue gases. Okay friends, now I have covered the working of Loeffler boiler and all the parts I have already covered. Now let's see the advantages and disadvantages and application of Loeffler boiler. The salt water for generation of steam is major advantage for this Loeffler boiler. The boiler size is very compact. It does not create much sound. The deposition of salt sediment is eliminated here. The disadvantage of Loeffler boiler is The evaporating drum is costly and bulky. Basically, this mixing chamber is called as evaporating drum. This is called as evaporating drum. This is very bulky and very costly. Here bubble formation occurs which create a problem of heat transfer rate. In this case, in this boiler also bubble formation is the major disadvantage. Now what is the application of Loeffler boiler? The main application of Loeffler boiler is it can be used for power generation. Other industry like textile, medical and like paper industry and pulp industry, this type of boiler can be used. Let's see the Velox boiler. The Velox boiler is a high pressure water tube boiler. Velox boiler use the gas in the combustion chamber as a fuel. The boiler has a unique basic theory than other boiler that we have already discussed. In the Velox boiler, we will use the gas at a very high velocity. The velocity of gas will be more than the velocity of the sound. Why we are using the gas at a very high velocity? See here, when the velocity of gas is greater than the speed of the sound, its heat transfer rate is also increased. So more heat is transferred from the gas to the water as compared when the heat transfer at the subsonic speed. If the speed of the gas is more at a subsonic speed, then the heat transfer will be more. This is the basic principle of this boiler. This boiler can increase the heat transfer rate or can say steam generation rate without increasing the boiler size. This is why Velox boiler is most successful boiler in the gas turbine industry. Now let's see the working of Velox boiler. The Velox boiler works as a basic heat exchanger. Basically, it will work as a heat exchanger. The air is compressed by the air compressor, which is driven by the gas turbine. You see here, this is the compressor and this is air is going, and this is the compressed air which is going into the combustion chamber. This is the compressed air. This compressed air passes from the combustion chamber where more heat released by the fuel, and fuel is coming from this side. This is the fuel tank and this is the feed pump for the fuel, and the fuel will go like this. So mixture of fuel and air, compressed air, will enter into the combustion chamber where combustion of fuel will takes place. Accordingly, hot flue gas will generate. Now, as more heat released by the fuel will increase the velocity of the flue gas up the sound velocity. That means as the more amount of heat is released, the velocity of flue gas will increase. Velocity of flue gas will increase. And it will increase up to the velocity of sound. Now from the bottom of the combustion chamber, there is a flue gas pass from the fire tube. These fire tubes surrounded by the evaporator water tube. You see here, these are the water tubes and these are the fire tubes. From the bottom of this fire tube, from the bottom of the combustion chamber or from the bottom of the fire tubes, these flue gas will go like this, and these flue gas will go into the superheater section and it will go like this. After the superheater section, these flue gas will go inside the gas turbine, and after the expansion of these flue gas in the gas turbine, the exhaust from the turbine will be sent to the economizer section where the exhaust will go into the evaporator. This is the flue gas path in the Velox boiler. Now let's see the water and steam circuit for the Velox boiler. This is the feed water tank, and water will come from the feed water tank, and through this feed pump it will be sent into the economizer, and then through the economizer it will be sent into the steam separator where From the downcomer, the water is sent into the evaporator tubes with the help of pump. That's why it is a forced circulation pump or forced circulation boiler. The steam and water mixture will go into the steam separator. Water and steam will separate. The water will go like this and steam will go into the superheater tube. And after the superheating of the steam, this superheated steam will enter into the steam turbine for further processing. This is the steam and water cycle. So friends, I have covered the steam and water cycle and flue gas path in the Velox boiler. Now let's see what are the advantages for using the Velox boiler. This boiler has a very high heat transfer rate. It has great flexibility. It is compact in design. It is easy to control, fully automatic. It has great thermal efficiency of 90 to 95%. So friends, in this lecture we have seen three boilers: Lamont boiler, then Loeffler boiler, then Velox boiler. All these boilers are high pressure boiler. In the next lecture, I'll cover the supercritical boiler or once through boiler. So thanks for watching this video and have a good day. Bye bye.